Flying high over the home of Welsh television, this RTS event at the BBC in Llandaff was to showcase drone technology and pose the question, is CGI the next big win for drones?
So this is, it's got a Micro Four Thirds camera on it, and it's interchangeable lenses. So this is a 12mm on.
Michael Sercombe, BBC Wales' first innovation lead, now runs his own drone company, Leaping Wing, specialising in aerial filming and other forms of data capture from the air. He believes we're on the cusp of a drone revolution.
The new drones that are coming out, the Mavic is the one that's been catching everyone's attention recently. They are so light, so portable, the fact that you can just turn up on a shoot. You've got a tiny bag down here, it's like just a tiny satchel really. Get the drone out, unfold the legs, you can be ready to go in literally 2 or 3 minutes. I was working with some photographers recently, news photographers, going out to stories. There was one going out to a big fire that happened in Aberystwyth. Those guys now, as well as their stills cameras, they're taking out a Mavic, they're filing that footage that otherwise you'd have had to wait for a TV crew to come and get. I think one of the big US broadcasters announced within the last year that all of their news crews would be fitted or would have a drone in the back of the vehicle. And I think it makes sense. They're just starting to view it as an everyday tool.
But mere aerial photography is not all these drones can do. Now the video effects industry is waking up to the drone's potential in streamlining the vastly time-consuming business of recreating landscapes and buildings in CGI. So-called structure from motion allows drones to capture the real world at a level of detail way beyond conventional videography.
I think it's becoming more and more of a cost-effective solution for doing sort of reality capture type tasks within visual effects supervision. So it's becoming cheaper and cheaper to get like a digital copy of the thing that you've filmed, and all the sort of freedoms that come with that. It's just becoming vastly more accessible than it's ever been, especially with the sort of cheaper sort of prosumer level drones that sort of basically fly themselves.
It's doing things now that very expensive LiDAR would have done in the past.
Absolutely, yeah. Yeah, stuff that was sort of limited to huge budget productions is now becoming incredibly accessible with this sort of stuff.
This particular drone being flown by Michael Sercombe is still expensive and a skilled two-man operation, one person to pilot, another to control the camera. But the new generation of prosumer models from DJI, like the Mavic Pro, take little skill. Although in the short term regulations for flying drones in the UK are being tightened, Michael believes as technology improves and safety also improves, more and more journalists will get their cameras airborne and regulations may ultimately be relaxed.
The European regulations which we think we're going to get are going to tighten things up at the top end of the market. So when you're talking about big drones, high risk flights, that's going to be as hard as ever to do that. But flying a Mavic, flying a smaller drone, flying it not incredibly close to people, that is, I think, going to become a lot easier to do. It's going to become easier in terms of licensing in particular. You're not going to have to go through the same hoops as you do at the moment. So I think it really is going to open up that bit of the market.
However, right now, anyone wanting to fly drones professionally in Britain has to obtain permission for commercial operations from the Civil Aviation Authority and follow their drone code. That prevents them flying within 50 metres of people and buildings that aren't in their control. They must also stay below 120 metres and must maintain visual contact with the drone at all times. The RTS event in Cardiff certainly opened the eyes of the delegates to the vast potential of drone technology. They were left in no doubt that it's an area of photography that's set to undergo massive growth in many production areas, from news to natural history on TV, and dramas and CGI on the big screen.